We be rising in the heart of nature every day. What's going on, beautiful people? Sending you guys tons of love and healing and healthy living your way. Today we're talking about how I applied Nikola Tesla's principles for 30 days and how it's made me become a way better person and has contributed to my journey of becoming my greatest self. And one of Nikola Tesla's quote, he is a brilliant, brilliant mind, is if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, if you actually study these principles and analyze the energy, frequency, and vibration that you're interacting with every day, because if we look at physics, if you've taken physics, chemistry, you understand that it's about the study of atoms, movement. But if we break these atoms down, we break the atom down, it comes down to energy. Now, this is so important in changing your life and how it can change your life. Now, Nikola Tesla was a brilliant mind. He was focused, disciplined. He often, from my studying of him, often could have probably used more sleep, but he wasn't distracted. And so many of us nowadays, we are distracted. And we're going to get into that. Now, Tesla was tapping into nature. He was looking at natural resources and how to, that if you could tap into that, these natural resources, you could actually unlock limitless energy. So he called it cosmic energy. And most people were not, at his level because a lot of people nowadays are distracted. So how has this changed my life? So if we look at that quote again, if you want to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Now, we are all energy, right? When you talk about energy givers, what are some energy givers? Sunlight, constant energy giver. Now, we have energy givers that give us energy. We also have energy takers. So why do people feel fatigued and tired? Why do people have low energy nowadays? You hear a lot about that. I have low energy. I feel so tired and fatigued. Well, there is a reason for that. Physics, there's laws of the universe. Physics is about cause and effect. And most medical doctors out there just look at your effects, which are the symptoms. Fatigue will give you a drug for that. High blood pressure will give you a drug for that. In holistic nutrition, we look at the whole body. Mental, physical body, emotional body, you call it spiritual body, connection to source, energy. Okay? So we look at the cause, the root cause. Because, example, if I were to drink a bunch of coffee right now or to drink a bunch of alcohol, the effect is going to be affecting my liver, right? My liver is now going to have to process the alcohol, or it could be medications, or it could be the coffee, or poor food, right? So I drink a lot of alcohol. The effect is me probably going to pass out. I'm going to have a hangover. That's the effect, right? Instead of saying to me, Crystal, you need to stop drinking alcohol, which is the cause. That's again addressing the root cause. Instead, if I, go to most medical doctors out there, they might give me a pill just to put a Band-Aid on my symptom, my effect, right? Okay, so we're going to bring this back to what gives us energy. Sunlight. Sunlight is amazing for your health. So there's energy givers. Sunlight is an amazing energy giver. Everybody feels so energized after, so good. So nature, beautiful birds, high frequency, the sounds. So we're looking at bringing in, giving all of our senses healthy energy. And that's going to give us energy in return, okay? What else is there that can give us energy? Food, okay? But not just any food, right? We're looking at organic, good quality, even natural, right? Some living foods. We're putting that into our body, okay? Because that, in return, that's going to give us energy, okay? Other energy givers, we could look at animals, right? A lot of people love their dogs, their cats, because they bring them a sense of peace, right? Having gratitude, waking up in the morning with your mindset on gratitude, being just thankful to be alive, thankful for what you have, focusing on the good, focusing on what's working, what's going well for you, right? That mindset is everything. Your thoughts are everything, because that's going to set you up for the day. So focusing on, what it is that you're thankful for. Could be the people in your life, could be just having a roof over your head, could be having food, right? Most people don't even have clean water. Some people don't have clean water, so you could be thankful for just having clean water. Nature, getting out in nature. If you have the ability for movement, exercise, that is free. That is free healthcare, and is so accessible. And in return, gives you more energy, right? Because you're soaking in all of these good vibrations and frequencies and energy from the environment, right? You're also breathing in fresh oxygen. How many people are stressed out nowadays? They're not deep breathing, right? That's going to impact our trillions of cells. So nature is super important. There's a reason why Tesla was so connected with nature, because he knew he was tapping into natural energy givers, right? Limitless energy. Music. If you turn on positive, uplifting music, a lot of people, they have a hard time getting up to go exercise or go out. You just have to throw yourself out there. Action is key, okay? So we want to make sure our thoughts and our emotions and our physical body are all in line, and action is also key, okay? So one way that might help you to start exercising is turning on some music, right? Because we've got the good vibrations going, the good frequencies playing. Turn on some high vibe music. That's going to really help to raise your frequency and vibration, okay? So movement, people as well. People can either, some people feel so drained after talking to some people feel so uplifted. They feel energized talking to some people. And why is that? Because we're interacting with different energies here, okay? And everybody's at different levels of energies, frequencies, and vibrations, okay? Now, there's, of course, many other givers. Now, let's talk about some energy takers. What is draining your energy? We want to analyze and have some awareness of our life. What is taking away our energy? Now, the first one, I would say, for the majority of people out there, is tuning in to news, the digital distractions. And in this world today, they keep coming. It's non-stop distractions, right? And there's another quote for you guys. Where your attention goes, energy flows. Now, why wouldn't it? If I'm looking this way, now my focus is over there on that tree, and now my energy is directing that way, right? Just like the news. If there's a headline playing over here and I'm looking at it, well, now I'm going to be consuming that information, that energy, right? And the news, for the most part, is fear, stress, negativity, okay? Keeping people in a low energy state. And they're giving their time and their energy to the news, okay? Now, one thing that Nikola Tesla knew is that his time and his energy were the most precious asset. Let me say that again. Tesla knew that his time and his own energy was his best currency, okay? Most valuable. Because if he wasn't focused and disciplined and cut out all these distractions, he wouldn't be able to have accomplished the amazing, all the amazing things he's accomplished in his life. So you have to be conscious and aware of what you're tuning into every day. Where all of your senses are going, that's where your body is going to go. So again, where your attention goes, energy is going to flow with it. So we want to make sure that we're tuning into, before I go to the next thing, I just want to say that, yes, it's important to know what's going on in the world and not be ignorant. However, we need to understand what is in our control. If we don't have any control over what's going on, then why are we putting our focus and energy into it? And then in return, if we're consuming all of that negativity and fear and stress, that can manifest in our mind. We'll be thinking about it all day. So now our thoughts are thinking about doom and gloom and fear and the end of the world. And now our emotions are going to become either sad, angry, depressed, anxious, and that's going to play from our adrenal glands because it's going to be releasing cortisol, which is the stress hormone, and adrenaline, right? So now our physical body, you see how this manifests from the mind to the emotions to the physical body, is all playing into one another. Okay, so now our physical body it can be manifesting high blood pressure, anxiety, right? Our heart palpitations, we're getting worked up, we're getting in a state of fight or flight, like I want to go fight somebody. However, it's out of your control, right? Now by watching the negativity news, now you just affected your own health and it's out of your control. So we want to put our focus back into what is it that we can control with our own energy, right? So we can only do what we can control. We can control what we tune into. We can control what we focus on. We can now direct that into healthy habits of what we can control, which is our own health, which is exercising, because that is going to give us energy in return, right? So it's actually healthier for us to tune out of that. And it's way healthier for us to tune into something that's going to give us health in return, okay? So other things that could be draining you are poor food choices. That's going to keep you in a low vibrational state. Processed foods, junk foods, they're hard to digest. A lot of chemicals, a lot of oils that can impact all of your glands. A lot of people are drinking a lot of coffee, so that's stimulating the adrenal glands to produce cortisol again. So the body never gets into a parasympathetic nervous system, which is a rest and relaxation phase. So nervous system is always, active. So we want to make sure that we're eating good quality whole foods to put into our body. So we're going to have, in return, great health, good energy. We also want to make sure that we've talked about exercise, but also some other energy takers would be the alcohol and drugs. And for a large part of my life, I got into the partying and that booze, and that was combined with going to the bar because I loved music, right? So And again, there's certain songs out there that can be uplifting, and then some certain songs out there that actually where artists are encouraging drinking and drugs. So you have to be cautious and aware of also the music that you're tuning into, because there can be both, right? There can be positive and negative. So just being conscious and aware of what all of your senses are tuning into, what you're eating, right? What you're breathing. There's a lot of chemicals out there too. Be conscious and aware of what you're breathing. I got the birds up above me. They're liking what I'm saying right now. Your eyes, what you're focusing on, what you focus on is going to grow. Okay, so if you're just focusing on the news all day, that's just going to manifest in your mind, and you're going to be filled, you're going to be consumed with fear, anxiety, and stress. So we want to make sure that we're not being distracted. And ears, what we're listening to. See those beautiful birds up there? High frequency. Okay, I'm absorbing all of these great frequencies and energies. So I think that's a good start for today. We are going to do another video on physics as well and chemistry, because those are also the laws of the universe and have a lot to do with food as well. Okay, so I hope this video helps you out. Just be cautious of where you're giving your energy to, what you're tuning into, what's giving you energy, and paying attention to what's draining your energy, and creating healthy boundaries, cutting off what is draining you. Okay, you're going to notice huge improvements if you do that. Huge improvements. You're actually going to, you'll become your own energy generator, because you're going to be cutting off toxic people, because people can be either, high vibe, or they can be toxic. So creating healthy boundaries are completely cutting these toxic energy drainers out of your life. You're going to notice huge improvements. And remember that your own energy and time is your most valuable currency. So whatever you're doing, you're either giving your energy back or it's depleting you. All right, you guys, as always, beginning in some whole, healthy, fresh food, beginning in some nature, we'd be rising in nature, and beginning in some sunlight. When you do that, we'll all be rising.